scary movie. He's alive! We all go a little mad sometimes.
Here's Johnny.
Hello, Mommy. They're here.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
I see dead people.
But sometimes death is better.
To avoid fainting, keep repeating. Take as much as you can.
I've got to return some videotapes.
Well, hello there, ghouls and goblins. Welcome back to the Playbook of Horrors. I'm your co-host, Adam, sitting with my buddy, Kev Duggan.
Hi. It's hard for you to. It's hard for you to not say.
It's very difficult. So
we have another podcast, so it's hard for him not to use my nickname. But don't say it.
I won't. And let's not forget Jake Hefner. All
Luckily,
here to talk about all things horror.
Luckily, I don't have a nickname, so you don't have to worry about mine.
We're gonna come up with one though.
Well, you'll earn one. Don't you worry.
If you guys have nicknames, put them down in the comments. I'd love to see them. But this is the official episode 1 for Playbook of Horrors. Very exciting. We did one prior. I think everything went pretty good, and we're kicking things up a notch here. We've got some fun stuff to talk to you guys about this week, and I think we need to start it off with an experience that one of us got to enjoy, and well-deserved, I think, because it's all encompassing their work, and that's Mr. Duggan, who is, for those that don't know, a director of photography, graduate from AFI, maker of movies, all things scary.
Stop.
And
Khaleesi of the Great Grassy, Breaker of Chains.
And got to experience the Midsummer Night Scream convention, and needs to tell us all about it. I'm dying to hear about it.
Yeah, it was cool. We had the first screening of one of the more recent movies I shot called Jester 2, and we premiered it there. So I went out and got to experience a little bit of what the convention was like. It was my first horror convention, so I didn't know what to expect, and it was pretty fun. So let's have a look at kind of what it was like. It was cool. It was in Long Beach, and it was huge, man. Like, everyone was there.
Wow.
It was pretty crazy. They had this back room where they had all these, like mini haunted houses and stuff.
Cool.
And yeah, it was awesome. And then they had like throwback VHS stuff, and it was just literally a horror fan's the best possible place to go. So I'm officially become a convention guy now. And that was the actual Art the Clown.
Oh wow,
That's great.
Terrifier.
Oh, that's a mural.
And the man himself,
Mr. Carpenter,
Mr. John Carpenter. So yeah, and then we had the screening of Jester, and my gaffer Marcus joined me when we went out and experienced it, and it was a lot of fun. So
very cool.
That is awesome.
That's so freaking cool. And for those that don't know, if you're aching to see Jester 2, you might have a chance. Check your local theaters, because Fathom Events is sending this bad boy out to theaters for 2 nights only, September 15th and 16th. You get 2 shots at this bad boy, and I got to tell you, folks, this is a really fun movie to go see, and you should definitely get tickets, because you might hear a familiar voice in that movie. And,
yeah, I think you're in it, Adam, right?
Am I?
I believe so.
Let me check IMDb. I don't know if I'm
think
in
so.
that or not. But definitely go check it out, folks. Jester 2, coming to a theater near you for 2 nights only. But there's other stuff, obviously, than Jester 2 at the theaters right now. There are some scary movies that have been going about. And I think the latest one we've all had a chance to see, right? Right. Starts with a W, ends with Evans.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's chat about this, and let's play a trailer maybe.
This is a true story that happened in my town. So this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school. But today was different. Every other class had all their kids. But Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty. And you know why? Because the night before, at 2:17 in the morning, every kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, and into the dark. And they never came back.
I don't understand at all. Why just her classroom? Why only hers?
Where are our children?
We have a lot of emotional parents here. I think it's best if you keep some distance from this place.
Matthew, where are you? Where did you go?
This is where the story really starts.
Wow.
Now, I think we all saw that trailer and we're very excited to go see this because I think we also all saw Zach Krieger's previous movie, Barbarian, and I can't speak for everybody, but I was blown away by that movie.
Yeah,
that really
definitely showed up on the scene and then came with a fury and a force with his first movie, and then he delivered this thing, which caught me completely off guard.
It's gonna be tough to talk about it without any spoilers. So if you have not seen this, maybe I don't know if we should put like a spoiler warning or if we can tap dance around all the elements of this, but if you haven't seen this, first of all, maybe pause this, go see it, and then come back here. But Weapons was really it's one of my favorite movies of the year, for sure. It's an original story. It's amazing performances. Everything is done so well, and it was one of those movies where I found my jaw like on the floor, and that doesn't happen. Like, because it's not necessarily like the gore factor, although there's certainly elements of that, but it was just the intensity of some of the moments and the way that it just keeps pulling you. It just keeps pulling you in because you want to know, what is it that's happening here? Why are these people doing these things? Where did the kids go? Why? And he knocked it out of the park. It was really just done so well. Because they broke it up by chapters. It was kind of what was the movie that you compared it to, Kev? Was it Rosh Hashanah?
He's in deep thought.
He's thinking about it
He's
hard.
He's definitely in deep thought.
Thinking about it hard.
He's still thinking about it.
Can you hear me, Kevin? Rashomon?
There it is. Okay.
Sorry. I was like, huh?
That was the longest.
No, I froze. My ass just froze. Sorry.
Okay.
Run that back a little bit for me, please.
Okay. So I think this had elements of Rashomon with the way that the chapters were separated, because that is what this ends up being. This is like a story that's being told from multiple perspectives, and with each perspective, you get a little bit more pieces of the puzzle. And by the end, the climax of this is really, that is the moment where you're just like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this is going where it is.
It's just the structure of the screenplay is so interesting because it's like this slow reveal of information. And the way they did it felt very like Tarantino-esque for me, where it's like, very Pulp Fiction-y with some of the moments where it was like these overlaps and you're ahead of what's going on in somebody else's story. So you're like, no, oh shit, no, I know where that's going. And it was just like the way they did it held your attention and just kind of told the story in such a cool way. I was just, for me, like when I'm not paying attention to the movie, like how it's made, I know it's good. And I stopped thinking about all of that right when this thing started.
Yeah.
Just that beginning sequence with all the kids running out, I find myself running down running places sometimes with my hands back like that sometimes, not because I am a weapon. But it's on so many levels. This movie, just like you said, your favorite movie so far this year, and right there for me too. Like we saw it twice in theaters. Like I just absolutely loved it. What did you think, Jake?
Much like you guys, I thought it was just such a unique story, a unique screenplay, and much the way he did with Barbarian, the way he gives you the trailer makes you believe that it's going to be one thing, and then that left turn moment hits in the movie where it completely ends up being something else. And I loved this so much more than Barbarian. I thought it was executed so much better. You mentioned the Pulp Fiction aspect of it. Didn't Zach Krieger even say that was part of his inspiration for the movie? He was also pulling from like Prisoners, which you can definitely see in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it had been a long time for me and my wife personally that we had an in-theater experience like that, to where there was moments on the screen that took place where you would hear an audible gasp of like, oh shit,
absolutely,
what's going to happen? And then in the climax of the movie where there's a combination of like, oh my God, and there's laughter. And just because it's so good what is happening. But yeah, to your point, it was such a unique story. I thought it was done so well. So there's reason why there is hype around this movie, because it definitely lived up to it.
I love that you mentioned the laughter, because that is such a crazy element. That I think every good horror movie has a little bit of levity in the situation, because it allows you to kind of, all right, let me let my guard down. I don't have to have my fists up because I'm, ducking scares and shit. It's okay. All right, we can laugh about this. All right, we're good. Everything's fine. All right. But the end really has those moments where it's like, this is funny, right? Like, this is funny, right? Like, you're asking the guy next to you in the theater, like, this is funny, right? and really, it's the vision, it's the performances, it's the writing. All of it is so expertly done, and it's not spoon-fed, but you can come to some conclusions, and there are still some things that are pretty open-ended, like, why is it called Weapons? It's kind of up to interpretation. Why do the kids run in that triangle stance? It's kind of up to interpretation. Like, there's still elements of this that add a mystery to the movie. That's kind of why Kevin and I went to go see it a second time, because it was just like, there's more to this, I think, than.
But it wasn't like, but it wasn't annoying. Like, sometimes movies are so vague that you're
yeah, for sure,
like annoyed with how vague it is. Like, this is like a perfect, like, I'm not going to fully explain this, so what do you think? But you still have fun on that ride. And something you said earlier, which I absolutely loved, the levity of it all. I laughed so freaking hard. Josh Brolin wakes up from a nightmare and just says, fuck.
Yeah.
And just like, yes, that's what people, when they wake up from nightmares, would do.
Right.
That's what we would do. Like, it's not just like you wake up, you're like, oh no, I'm still spooked out. It's like, fuck that. That sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was so real. It was so awesome. I loved every second of this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're a fan, it's funny because like there are certainly elements of horror in this, but I almost hesitate to call it a horror movie. It's that kind of like thriller-esque, and you don't really know what the motives are of, I will say, the villain of the movie, because you don't know what are they, like, what is this? What am I like? Are they supernatural? Are they from another planet? Like, what is their motivation? And they never give you that, which I think is great, because that's an open-ended aspect of this that really allows your imagination to run wild with it. And
it's interesting on that point too, because apparently they had a chapter for the bad person in this movie, but they pulled it out. They had it all filmed. So I'm glad they pulled it out. You don't need that at all. It's better this way.
It is 100% better.
It's just clever. It's like sometimes in post, when you get in there, if you just make tiny little tweaks, and it just makes it a better movie. And I want to see that. Hopefully it's on deleted scenes on the Blu-ray or whatever they release.
I know. or at least make a weapons 2 and we can get a little bit more of that backstory. But I mean, there's that's what's so fun about this movie is like, you want to know, but at the same time, you kind of don't. Like, the mystery is so much freaking better to create that discussion with other people. And it's an absolute blast. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Super duper fun. And try to go see it in the theater, because I tell you, like you said, Jake, it's that in theater experience where you're just like you're watching this giant theater, and the music and the actions, like everybody's performing. It's so good. So good.
It'd be very different at home by yourself on a couch with your phone next to you.
Right.
It's different.
When your phone next to you, theater. Distractions, muting it, turning the volume down, hiding behind a pillow, like that. When you got to be in the theater with your hands at your side and you're looking at it, and you got to do stuff like this, like that's the best part of it. But the other thing that we definitely need to talk about, one of us has made a tradition of coming out with a calendar, multi-month calendar, by the way. I have questions, but the horror calendar from Mr. Jake Hefner. And this guy, if you guys don't think this guy's dedicated to horror movies, you got another thing coming, because this guy watches a movie a day. It is planned out for 2 months. Can we play the video?
Tell us more. Explain yourself.
I mean, hey, some people like to meal prep for the week. I like to plan out my horror movie calendar accordingly for 90 straight days. So September is the beginning of the first leg of 90 days of horror that my wife and I do, and we've been doing this pretty much since we met each other. So going on 8 years now. Yeah. Pretty incredible. But I always love doing this. I always love putting these things together. And then, of course, every year you always get, whether it's a new remake or, for example, Weapons. Spoiler alert, that's going to go on October. That'll be in the schedule as well. So remake is always an interesting one, because that's what September month is dedicated to. And so many people have indifferent thoughts on remakes. You can never do as good as the original. Sometimes you can, actually, and which ones are the best. And through trial and error over the last few years, we have definitely seen some duds and some first time experiences, so we try to weed those out. We try to get the best ones every year. But yeah, September, let's go. Tis the season.
Okay, so I have questions. You mentioned your wife.
Yes.
Is she, I don't think there's a lot of guys out there with wives that are like, horror movies, yes, please, let's make calendars. Let's do this every day. You say, let's go. And so please tell me how that came about. Like, was that how you guys met?
I mean, it wasn't the circumstances of why we met. No, It was completely something different. But I came to find out how much she enjoyed horror movies, because she does not get scared by things easily. And whether it's horror movies or any type of other movies, she always will talk about that she'll figure out the plot, and she'll just say it and spew it and be like, I guarantee that guy's going to kill that person, and that dude's going to be revealed as the killer, and yada, yada, yada. And 90% of the time she's right. But no, she has
that was love at first sight for you. You started hearing wedding bells. You're like, you get me.
It definitely helped. It definitely helped. But no, apparently her dad tried to actually terrify her as a kid and threw on The Exorcist. Oh. And she thought it was hilarious. She thought it was funny. So
I gotta meet your wife.
Yeah, her dad's been trying to scare her, since she was a little thing, and now she's been so desensitized by horror all these years. And so there is, first of all, she loved weapons. She loved weapons.
Good.
But there's been like very few movies that have actually like hit her to where it's like actually surprised her and to where she could be like genuinely terrified. Yeah. So, but because I started doing this, and God, you should see the beta versions of this calendar way back when. It looks so hokey now compared to what we have. But no, I started telling her about this, like, up until that point, I had been doing it since 2015. She's like, oh my God, I love this idea. And then as time went on, I just kind of said like, okay, how can we amplify this a little bit more and turn it into more of like a trailer for each month? So it's gone through its progression of evolving, and now we're here.
That's so freaking cool.
I love it.
That is.
You gotta get like a stamp for the movies that she was genuinely terrified of. We got to put a stamp on those, because I want to watch. Make sure I see those if she's very not scared by everything, because I'm looking to get scared.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Fun. So because of the calendar, we would love to talk about the list of movies that you have upcoming this week, and because these are the remakes, and there are a few in there that kind of pique our interest as far as discussions go. So
definitely.
Who should start?
Let's kick it off with the first one.
All right.
Okay.
What is it? The My Bloody Valentine's the first movie you had up. And I'm going to be completely transparent. I haven't seen this movie. I remember seeing it come out as I saw the original a while ago, but I remember this coming out as like a 3D movie, felt like gimmicky. I was like, at this point in time, I was like, film school, no, I'm not watching that. That's just I'm about pretentious. I make films, you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't the vibe. But I saw a trailer for this, and it looks pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite remakes to watch, and it was actually my wife's suggestion to start September off with My Bloody Valentine. Is it cheesy? Does it have one of those type of hodgepodge cast? Absolutely. But it's got Tom Atkins in it, who always elevates anything he is pretty much in. But if you're looking for like an old school feel type of slasher that goes for it, especially when it comes to the kills and the gore, oh yeah, this definitely hits a home run.
Okay, I'm excited. So we'll report back on the stuff on this list next week. But I'm excited to check it out. It's on my to-do.
I was gonna say, I know that I saw it, but I think I only saw it once in theater, and it's definitely due for a revisit from me. But next on the list is one that I would love to play a trailer for, because this is also one that I have not seen in a while, but I've been kind of itching to go back to it, more so than My Bloody Valentine, because of the cast of this bad boy. And so can we play the trailer?
Let's do it.
Please and thank you.
God, this feels so 90s already. I love
it. This Halloween, 6 strangers have been invited to a party. If they can stay up till dawn, they'll win $1 million each.
$1 million.
The only catch is that they'll have to live through the night.
Let the games begin.
What's in there? Hey, I think I got something.
Open the door!
Stephen, are you doing this?
No.
think they're still running that contest?
Let's go to the website. I got to
Let's go to
find
the
out.
website. Remember when movies had websites?
Oh,
Holy
yes.
shit. Wow, I don't remember a thing of that movie. I know I've seen it. I don't remember anything.
This was one of those movies that I remember seeing it in the theater, and I remember being so entranced by, first of all, the caliber of Jeffrey Rush.
Whoa, and I think he won an Oscar literally right before he did this movie.
Yeah.
Like literally Oscar in hand walking to the set of House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah. Yeah. And like just seeing his performance, Famke Janssen, Taye Diggs, Chris Kattan. I actually worked with Chris Kattan for a little bit. And
Nice.
the horror element of Jeffrey Combs, known for so many movies, but I mean Reanimator,
yeah,
The Frighteners, like he is just like the epitome of great horror movies. And so having him in there is also just a nice chef's kiss for a horror movie cast. But that was one of those movies, that and 13 Ghosts, which I know that's on the list too. That's on the calendar.
Matthew Lillard.
But
Let's go.
those were two movies that, like, when you saw the trailer, like as a 90s kid, because like, let's see, I would have been a teenager at the time. So it was just like, because I think House on Haunted Hill, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that was only like PG-13, right?
Yeah, I didn't get an R rating.
Yeah, it didn't get an R rating. So it was that opportunity to go see something scary that I wasn't like, hey, Dad, can I get a ticket? Or trying to sneak into a theater because you couldn't get in because you were a teenager. So it was like, all right, I can go see this. And it had the visual fun. It had the great cast. And I know it's not a perfect movie. And again, I haven't seen this thing in forever, and I'm definitely adding it to my list to rewatch again. But it was just it was just fun. It was just a fun visual romp with some good scares in it. And even though the story might have been a little like, it's fine. Like, I'm a kid. Like, I get to see something on the big screen. Like, this is my stuff. I get to watch this horror stuff. And cool makeup effects, cool stunt work and stuff like that. And again, and you have that allure of like, you got to stay up through the night. What's going to stop you from winning $1 million? Like, that's fun. And to have it be based off of the old Vincent Price House on Haunted Hill. Because I remember when that came out, my dad was like, oh, you should watch the old House on Haunted Hill. And that was also that time where it's just like, wait, this is a remake?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Right.
Like, because the original House on the Hill is like what, the 60s, 50s, maybe?
Oh, it's an old.
Yeah, it's an old one. So like, this was kind of that introduction. And same for 13 Ghosts, where it was like, oh, this is a remake of something that already existed, and I can go see it, and now I can compare. Like, that was a really interesting introduction to that world of like, you can just retell a story in a more modern time. So super fun.
Yeah, this one was actually a first watch for me. I had never seen it prior, and
oh wow.
As I was sitting there, I went into this as blind as possible. And apparently my wife had said that she saw it, but she couldn't like fully remember the story, but she had watched it once way back when. And as I'm watching this cast be revealed, I'm like, dude, did the casting director just was so indecisive that they literally just said, okay, there. Where did the darts land?
Right.
Oh, we got Chris Kattan in this movie. Okay. Yeah. We got Veronica Vaughn in this movie. All right. That's so good. I'm like, look at this cast. Yeah. This is so good for 1999. It's so good. But no, then as you were saying, Will Dog, just in terms of like, especially just Geoffrey Rush, they made him look so much like Vincent Price. And it was perfect for his character. And then it turns into more of just kind of like a whodunit. You know, are these things really happening? Because you get to learn a little bit more about a certain character's backstory and what they're bringing to the table. And it's like, okay, so there's mystery elements into it. So all in all, yes, it's entertaining.
And what's that? What is it? 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. What's that Kevin Bacon degrees? How many degrees?
6 degrees.
Yeah.
6 degrees. So I have 1 degree. I have 1 degree from this movie. It's a weird, really weird anecdote. But the director I can't remember his first name, but Malone.
William
Malone. His very first movie he ever made, I have it right here, is called Scared to Death. Okay. My uncle, his name is Patrick Prince. Was the cinematographer on this movie.
Hey.
Wow.
So weird connection there. So
That is awesome.
Scared to Death. This is
Wow.
rad. Yeah.
Scared to Death.
Yeah. It's hard to
1980.
find. It literally, you can only get it on VHS. It's not streaming anywhere. So
Oh,
I might have to pop this in, record it, post it, get it up. I don't know. I'm not going to do anything illegal.
Do you have a
People need to see it.
VHS player that works?
he does. As a
I
matter
do.
of
It's like right
And
over
it's
here.
connected, and it's connected to my 4K projector, and it looks awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, for the I think that's also a fun thing too. Kevin, within the last 2 years, has like
Yeah.
regained that love for, and appreciation for VHS.
It was a hobby that you go to, thrift stores, and you go to these garage sales, and it's like, what do you got? And I only buy horror movies. I don't buy anything else. So I have quite a collection, and I found The Shining, like a really good copy of The Shining at that convention. Got a
So
really
freaking
good copy
cool.
of Clockwork Orange at the convention. So I'm just, not getting everything, but I have a little VHS collection. That's fun.
I love that.
Which is so fun. Like that is, it's such a crazy time now to think that like that movie only exists on VHS. That's it. Like you cannot find it anywhere else. And
Nope.
that's a coveted piece of merchandise right there, my friend.
And it's weird. It's like basically it's like an Alien ripoff, because it came out in like 70. I don't know when I don't remember. It came out like early 80s, but it was just a straight up rip. It was like a straight rip off of Alien, but it's like in like downtown LA. It's a very, very odd movie. I've seen pieces of it. I got to watch the whole thing, but yeah. It's fun.
Love it. All right. Well, I think next on the list is one I know I've heard you guys talk about before, but we're specific on the remake here of Child's Play.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you want to watch the trailer?
Please. Yeah. It's been a hot second.
Okay, let's watch it.
At Caslin,
I remember when this trailer came out, I was like, wait, what is happening?
It's about being known, understood, loved. Introducing your new best friend.
People, let me tell you about my best friend.
Chucky?
Yes. Yes.
Now, full disclosure, I have not seen this remake yet, but I've been wanting to, again, because of the cast. I love Aubrey Plaza. I love, who's the other guy? Who's the, God, I've got it here. Oh, it's going to kill me.
Brian Henry?
Yes. I love Brian Henry. And also knowing that the voice of Chucky is none other than
Luke Skywalker,
Mark Hamill. So, I've been dying to check this out, but it's just like, it's one of those movies that for one reason or another, it's just like, I just haven't found the time. I haven't made the leap, made the jump. So tell me, is this worth watching?
Oh, hell yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. And trust me, I know we talked about Child's Play a lot on our last episode.
Yes.
And I'll admit, it was kind of, I went into the same feeling with this as I did with the Evil Dead remake, to think like, okay, are you going to be able to capture me with a remake in this, just because the original was so good?
Right.
And then, Child's Play 2 and 3 after that were so great. It's like, what are you going to do? And then you hear that, Mark Hamill is going to be the voice. And you're thinking to yourself, like, okay, we know what we've gotten from the voice of Chucky and, prior. It's like, are you coming to play, so to speak, in this one? And absolutely, Mark Hamill did. And I love the fact how it wasn't just like a full-fledged remake of the original telling the same story. They modernize it with the AI, and they elevate it with these smart home devices that are all controlled by these type of dolls now. And there are elements to that that just made it so good. And even the kills in this movie, they really upped the ante from what you saw in the previous Child's Play movies. I thought Mark Hamill did a great job. As you mentioned, Audrey Plaza does a great job. And just the story in general, where there's times that you actually kind of feel sorry for Chucky in certain degrees because of what's taking place. But the way that they turn it around, and when he just fully takes the gloves off and starts going, his own version of Rambo, it's awesome. I loved it.
Okay.
This, for me, this was like, it's like the good version of Megan. Like Megan, this is what Megan wanted to be. But I will say, I didn't love this movie.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go counter you a little bit. I think I'm too much of a homer for original stuff, and when you go so departure from what the original was, and I hated feeling bad for Chucky. Like that doesn't work for me at all. Like having I get what they were trying to do with it, but I was sitting there like, no, my childhood is based on being pissed at this guy and fearful of this guy, and they're gonna go ahead and make me feel bad for him. Like, it kind of pissed me off. But that being said, I saw it once, and I'm kind of an emotional, reactive guy. I probably should give this a second try, and see if it maybe lands now that I've gotten I know how I wanted it to be out of the way. So I will lean more towards Jake's side of it, or I'm going to give it another chance. But there's a couple things about it that pissed me off, but it is what Megan wanted to be. And Megan came out after this. So clearly the producers saw Chucky and were like, oh, this is a great idea. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, the doll design, I will say, sucks.
Yeah, it's not, it doesn't
the doll
look
design
like Chucky.
and the animatronics and everything like that, it just doesn't capture a voodoo aspect of a person being inside of a doll and all the emotions.
It's AI. It's robot.
But even still, it's just like we're really going that rickety with it. It just looked so weird. And that was the only thing that took me out of it. Even though Mark Hamill did a great job in his portrayal of it. Yeah, there was just parts of it where you're looking at the doll, you're just like, dude, this thing is not scaring me. Where it's
no, you feel bad for it. You want him to do well at times. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
This is a Chucky movie.
But Brad Dourif in 1989 or what was it, 88? How the hell are you doing some of those animatronics? Because they look so much better.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't know why Dourif didn't do this one. I'm not gonna lie. He's still around.
Committed? I think he was committed to the show at that point in time. And there was
I don't know the behind the scenes.
There was a whole hubbub between the original director of Chucky, who ended up directing the series, and Jennifer Tilly, and them kind of all sticking together to say, we're team Chucky over here, vintage Chucky. You clowns can go over there and be with the new Chucky.
Yeah.
So
the AI Chucky.
Yes.
Interesting.
But I'll watch it again. I'm trying not to shit on it, but I was very bummed out when I saw it. But there were some good moments.
Yeah. Well, I think you brought up a great point that especially when it comes to remakes, there are some remakes from a previous intellectual property that are so beloved that it is very difficult to get over that hump of I love the old one so much. How is this one going to make me love it? What's going to be endearing about this movie that's going to make me forget about the other movie, or not necessarily forget about it, but make me love this just as much as I love the old one.
Well, the problem is in remake stuff, they're not making it for the people that really love the first one. They're making it for a new audience.
Absolutely.
And some movies make it for the people that loved the original and have throwbacks and things that people will appreciate. And then other people are like, no, we're just starting over. And I think they just started over because there's so much Chucky stuff right now and the TV show and all that. And a lot of that stuff's not great. So I think they were just like, all right, we're just going to, you've seen enough of Chucky. We're just going to try something new, which makes it a tougher remake if you really like the original.
Well, and that's what brings me to the next point, which is the next remake, I think, has probably been better than its previous iteration.
100% better.
Because it was broken up over two movies. and everything was kicked up to 10 in a great way because, well, let's just say it's It and It Chapter 2.
Yeah.
Like, let's combine them together because it is just one all-encompassing story. And, you get the first iteration of It, which was, the kids' perspective. You get to see them growing up and dealing with this horror, which was so much fun to watch. Like,
the kids are great too. It felt like Goonies almost,
man.
Like the potty mouth kids who like had this like it felt like real kids and weren't like watered down kids, which I love that they did that in that movie.
Yeah, I mean they all encompass the personalities perfectly, and obviously Skarsgård just knocks it out of the park as Pennywise, man. Like
he's
talk
insane.
about taking an iconic character and making it your own in a way that is not, you're not trying to mimic what was previously there. You are trying to make it your own, and you're making it scary, and you're making it like there's just something about him that like you're looking at it, you're like something's off. It's not like he's trying to be scary. He's just off. There's just something not quite right, and it's always in that lip business down there that it's just like, who makes that face? What is wrong with you? And yeah, the eye just going cockeyed. It's,
and the fact that was all real, that's not a CG. Like he could literally make his eye could do that. Like I don't know, that dude is. And now he's Nosferatu and like any cool monster. Like he's that guy.
Yeah, no, he's becoming kind of the Gary Oldman of our age, who can just kind of get lost in a role and you forget who it is that's playing him. Because Machete just absolutely killed it. Because then you go into Chapter 2 and you get to see the adult version of all these guys, which again, I've said it multiple times here. I'm all about the cast. Like if you can get a good cast that can really encompass the characters and bring me in, like even if it's not a great story, that's fine. I'm here for some scares. I'm here for some good performances. And, to get the caliber of like Bill Hader and Jessica Chastain and James McAvoy, like all of these guys, and bring Bill Skarsgård back. It's like, all right, well now all the things that were scary for the kids, now you're going to encompass that on the adults. And how is that going to be? Like, is it going to be bigger and scarier? And for moments, it kind of was.
I'm curious what you guys thought, because I know that a lot of people had issues with the spider, and whether that was in the original miniseries or even in the sequel. Were you guys okay with that?
The second one kind of, it's definitely better than if you're gonna remake it, the remake's better than the original. The TV version was rough. It kind of fell a little flat for me on the second one. The first one, I absolutely loved every single piece of it, but the end but that's so hard. Like I read the book, the end of that book is impossible to turn into a movie. And like some of the themes and some of the stuff and like the sexuality and all that stuff, like, it's just like, I don't know how you make that movie. And I thought it was a good way to wrap it up. And it had a strong finish for me, but it wasn't everything I hoped it would be in that last big sequence.
Well, having read the book, because I can't say I haven't read the book, but I have like heard about some of the elements of the original story. What could they have done that would have made you go like, there you go, now you nailed it?
It's the darkest. Like I don't know what else you could have done. Like that's kind of the story you can tell. Like the book is basically an NC-17 if you told that story, and it's like child sexuality and that kind of stuff. And there's just you're not going there. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So that it was a great finish. Like that is a book. I don't know how you finish. That's why the beginning is so great, because it sets up the kids, but you can't finish it the way it was in the books. So, but it was still like the first one, absolutely amazing. The tone, the look, it's genuinely scary moments. The projector scene with the slides and the hair going over his face, and then it comes out of the screen.
Yes.
Like just some amazing set pieces. But honestly, like just thinking back, because I haven't seen them in a minute, I don't remember a lot of the second one. Like a lot, I remember the old lady and Jessica Chastain scene, like that long, really drawn out, tension filled scene. But there's not a lot of things I remember in that second one. I remember everything from the first one. So I think that may be telling me something about my thoughts on the two.
It feels like, because the second one is very, very long for a sequel. And because you have to basically go back to each one of their stories and what they're trying to find in the movie. And, you're basically centralizing around, 7 different paths of where we're going in each one of these sequences. But no, I really enjoyed the sequel. Spider or no spider, I didn't actually have an issue with it at all.
Right.
Some of the elements that happened during that whole fight scene, and just as a whole, the 1980s elevates the elements of the movies so much better than the original set in the 1950s. So I think that that's part of it that just brings it so much juice. And then you get to them as adult characters, and as you mentioned, Bulldog, just going through this cast, that I think that each one of them hit it out of the park for the kids that they were assigned to portray. And yeah, I thought it had a really nice finish to it.
Yeah, I mean, even the kid cast, looking back at the first one, especially with Finn Wolfhard and Jack Grazer, Sophia Lillis, like those kids just, and I love the fact that they were just like, so if you wanted somebody to play the adult version of you, who would it be? And I know Finn Wolfhard was like, oh, Bill Hader for sure. And I love the fact that Bill Hader is in a horror movie, because I think Bill Hader is just like one of the best right now as far as like comedy and just performance in general with Barry. And so like to add him into the It Chapter 2, that franchise, and to have him that moment near the end when he's like, when they're taking on the spider and he just mid sentence just goes down. It was like,
he goes for it in that movie.
Like he really nailed it, and he's so fun to watch.
He's great.
But those are great remakes. But the final remake on this week for the horror calendar is Friday the 13th, which some would say if you remake this, that is almost a cardinal sin. This is one of the OGs, one of the greats, and you're coming back and you're remaking this? I don't know. So
let's watch the trailer.
Put on the trailer.
You do realize this camp was closed down like 20 years ago. But I'm pretty sure the way the story goes, some woman, she went nuts, killed all these counselors, blamed them for her son's drowning. The place is called Camp Crystal Lake. Jason? He came back.
My sister, she came camping up around here with some friends. She's gone missing.
She ain't missing. She's dead. People go missing around here. They're gone for good.
No! Here it is. Make yourselves at home. Mi casa es su casa.
You know how many thousands of people disappear every year? There's no evidence. No car. No witnesses.
All right, you ready?
Ready, let's do it!
This is a man's sport.
There's a guy up there carrying a dead body.
We'll bring trouble. Just won't be left alone. And so does he.
So does who?
Richie, stop fucking around.
Kevin, the floor is yours on this one, sir.
Yeah.
This is a weird one for me because this is like the perfect kind of remake in a way where the first, it is holy ground, but like there's so much you can do with it. And slasher is such a different genre for me, and the remake makes it a lot more. There's a lot more possibilities. I love what Marcus Nispel did on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. The early 2000s one was awesome. I enjoyed this. I thought it was fun. It does slow down. They make it a little too complicated in that second, third act of like this underground world that he's got, but it's just fun. Like visually, he's so strong, like really strong visuals, really cool gore and action. And that's kind of what all you can ask for from these movies. You're not looking, for me, the bar was lower going into this. I was just like, I want to have fun with this. And I had fun watching this movie, and very memorable. Like the whole end at the house, at the party house and all that stuff. Like there's so many great moments in this movie. People hated it. It's very polarizing because it is so different. And some of the stuff they did, but it kind of was the perfect remake where it encompassed, like hooded Jason and encompass like the mask, and it kind of like gave you a throwback to all 8 or 9 or whatever, however many movies there were before it, and little homages to that, which I thought was really cool. And then unfortunately they didn't do anything else with it, and it's been in like legal limbo forever. But I think the rights just became available, and they're going to start making some new ones. People are like bidding on it. A24 is bidding on it. I don't know who has the rights yet, but I know there are a couple companies like Paramount and A24 and some other people trying to bid on it. I would love to see an A24 Friday the 13th.
I think they got it, dude. I think it's
A24 did it.
I think they're making a series out of it.
It was two different companies were in the run. I don't know if it was announced yet. I might be wrong, but it's definitely, if that's the case, that's exciting, because it's tough though, because it's a pretty simple story. So you're gonna have to take the simple original story and build on it, because no one actually does a remake of the first one. No one's using mom to kill all the kids. Like, it just doesn't happen anymore. You have to use Jason, or you're not making a Friday the 13th at this point. So it's a weird remake where it really isn't a remake of the original. It's kind of a remake of all of them before a little bit. So it made it more fun and easier to, like, not get hung up on stuff.
Yeah, it highlights like 1, 2, and 4. Biggest as far as the movies that it's pulling from. I don't understand why anybody has an issue with this remake. Honestly, when you go back and you watch,
it's fun.
It is fun, and I think it goes ultra as far as the kills and the gore and all the things that you're used to seeing in a Friday the 13th movie. Travis Van Winkle, who plays Trent in this movie, if you ever need a prototypical douchebag in your movie, Travis Van Winkle does it to a T. He's done it in this movie. He's done it in Transformers. He's done it in You. I mean, he is just the quintessential guy, and he pulls it off perfectly. But I think just the whole story, because first of all, the movie goes hard in the very beginning before you even get the title sequence. And then it gets into the story that you're going to follow for the rest of the better part of 90 minutes. I love this remake. I think it's maybe it was because right around the time, Rob Zombie kicked it off by remaking Halloween, and then I can't remember which came first, if it was this or if Nightmare on Elm Street followed. But it was like right around that time where it's like, okay, now we're just remaking everything. But
yeah,
I think this is one of the much better remakes that's been done.
It's certainly one of the more visual ones, because of Nispel and the success of Texas Chainsaw, which I love. The remake with Texas Chainsaw, I thought that was so much, that added such a grittiness to it, that was that modern grittiness tone, which Kevin and we got a chance to watch a film print of that.
We saw a 35 millimeter print of it at Alamo.
Yeah,
best movie theater in the world.
Yeah, we love Alamo here at the Playbook of Horrors. But the Friday the 13th, I think, I mean, it's tough to really pinpoint. Like, part of it is like, well, it's not Camp Crystal Lake, and blah, blah, blah. It's these, frat kids at a party, and Jason comes and slashes them up. But it's like, I don't know. It's when it comes to remakes, it's such a fine line between like, all right, well, you're going to retell the exact same story that we've already seen, and it's already out there, and it's already printed, and you can just go rent it, or should we take that and make something new out of it, and make something fun and original and different and creative? And I think it's a fun watch at the very least. You can just be like, it's a fun watch. Like, if you don't put so much stake in, like, they shouldn't have done it like this. It should have been in a camp with kids.
Like I did with Child's Play. Yes. I'm picking and choosing how I feel about these, because I was like pissed at Child's Play, happy with this.
Yeah. That's the beauty of a remake.
How the wind's blowing that day, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, how does the film catch you at that particular time? And I think it's absolutely worth a watch, if nothing else. Give it a watch, give it a whirl, and have some fun.
A gory blast. It's fun.
Exactly. All right, and to clarify, A24 did get it. The series is called Crystal Lake. It is being shot as we speak and should be done filming at the end of October, expected to premiere on Peacock.
Well, shit. All right.
So it's called Crystal Lake, and maybe that's part of it. They're not calling it Friday the 13th. They're calling it Crystal Lake.
Well, if they're going to make a series out of it, they got to build out the characters and the lake and all that stuff. It makes sense.
Yeah, the lake is its own character.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure the lake is big enough to hold all these bodies we're about to put into it.
Kevin Bacon is Crystal Lake.
The lake.
All right, folks. Well, that was a lot of movies to talk about this week. Episode 1 of Playbook of Horrors. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll do another one of these because, as y'all saw, Jake's got a full freaking calendar. So we got a lot of movies to talk about here coming up. But we will catch you guys on the next Playbook of Horrors. Stay spooky, stay safe. Boo.
Great.